Hello, my name is Naya and I'm 13 years old. I live in N'Djamena, Chad in Africa. I have an older sister named Estella who is 15 years old and a younger brother named Isa who is 10 years old. I have a mother named Jody who works as a nurse. N'Djamena is the capital of Chad and has around 50,000 people living there and is not the safest place to live because there is so much violence. My brother and I go to school right outside the city while my sister helps my mother learn how to be a nurse. Our father died 7 years ago when I was 5 in the Chad and Sudan War. Since I am 13 years old, this is my last year of school. After school, I will be helping my mother and sister at the small hospital. Recently in school, we have been learning about our country and what we do. I have learned that our country has many helpful resources. Even though Chad is suffering from lots of different things like famine, violence, we have natural resources like gold, bauxite, and petroleum. It covers over 1 million square kilometers and is the world's 21st largest country. It lays on north-central Africa and half of its desert because of the Sahara Desert, and the other half is forest and farmland. Chad has not been its own country for too long. From the 1900s to the 1960s, Chad was a French empire. After Chad gained their independence from France on August 11, 1960, their president was Francois Trembloy, who ruled as a dictator until he was assassinated by soldiers in the Chadian military in 1975. At the same time, in 1960, there was the start of the Chad and Sudan War. The government of Chad had offended the Sudanese Muslims, starting the Chad and Sudan War. The war is still ongoing, but slowly coming to an end. Chad has many resources like limestone, bauxite, petroleum, oil, iron ore, tin, uranium, fish, gold, and gravel. Two of my uncles work at a gold mine in southern Chad, and the other one works at a quarry in northern Chad. I have a cousin and aunt who work on cotton farms in southern Chad. I was told by an old farmer that 80% of Chad survives off the agriculture. And from what I can tell, that is true considering all my friends at school live on farms and have to walk many miles to go to school. My best friend Saudi lives on a farm and has to walk 15 miles every day to get to school. On her farm, they have sorghum, millet, peanuts, legumes, cotton, berber, and rice. Saudi said that after this year of school, she is going to be helping her family on her farm. When I am at her house, though, we usually eat traditional Chadian food like quiser and darabar. Chad is in the group of African countries that export things. We send products to China, America, France, Germany, Cameroon, Portugal, and Belgium. My older cousin Hokoma works at a ship that transports goods to America. My cousin usually carries oil, cotton, and gum arabic, which is a type of very thick and sticky sap from the acacia tree that is used to make soap and sometimes in paint. Last year, my family and I went to Zocamo National Park because we had run out of soap and there were lots of acacia trees there. We had also turned out to be so much fun because after we collected the sap, we had stayed for a couple hours to just run and play. Next year, when we have Republic Day on November 28th, we're going to Dagaway's Cherry River and Elephant Rock, which is where you are on a boat for 2 days going down the Cherry River, seeing lots of wildlife like giant flocks of birds and hippopotamus. We have lots of problems with deforestation. People cut down trees to make room for farmland and cattle, but then when they are done, they leave and continue to cut down more trees for more farmland. Anyways, Chad is a very beautiful country, but if we don't try to protect it, then we will slowly fade into poverty and starvation, even more than we already are. To try and stop from fading away, I think we should export more things to more countries because then our government can have more money to fix things like